Are you excited for the next Indiana Jones film starring Harrison Ford? You won't be after this, but you probably already know. John Kasdan, the co-writer of Solo, a Star Wars story, and son of Lawrence Kasdan, will be writing the next Indiana Jones movie. Yes, a company gets a guy who just wrote a flop to take care of their next tentpole movie. Indiana Jones is massive. He's a character that boys, girls, men and women grew up with. He's a character for everyone. But John Kasdan, the man who decided Lando should fall in love with a droid, a female droid, yes, he's penning the Indiana Jones film. And I said it even before I heard he was a part of all this, that they're going to get a young female relative of Indiana Jones to take over the mantle from Indiana Jones, so she'll be starring in the next films. That's obvious. People say to me, it's not Disney, it's Lucasfilm, it's Kathleen Kennedy. She wore a T-shirt saying the Force is female. Disney are the big boys and girls in charge. They own Lucasfilm. They could have put a stop to this whenever they wanted to. But here's the thing, they don't want to. Now, what they've done now is getting their middle finger and sticking it up at all of us. But what does that achieve? We've got the power here because basically now we know John Kasdan's going to be writing it. Us people with any knowledge will boycott the movie. Just like I boycotted Solo. Yes, I boycotted Solo. And so did thousands of Star Wars fans around the world. People say you're not a loyal fan if you boycott. Hang on a minute. Just because I was a fan of the first ever Star Wars film, A New Hope, if the Empire was a load of crap, and I knew it was going to be a load of crap, and I didn't support what they were doing, why should I go and see it? It's nothing to do with being a loyal fan. It's about Hollywood, the studios, and the people who run the studios, obsessed with identity politics. Obsessed with Time's Up, obsessed with SJW issues. As I did when I had an argument with BD Wong, the actor, when he was talking about identity politics, and I tweeted him and I said, look, BD, great guy, I love your stuff, but at the end of the day, diversity should be something that happens automatically. It shouldn't be shouted from the rooftops. It should just be done. And I truly believe that. He said, oh no, he goes. And then I said, and something else I believe in. I believe that the creative element should come before diversity. But here's the thing. If diversity is just an automatic thing, then they can't shout it from the rooftops. And they really want us to know that they're diverse, even though they're not. Because they think it's a big selling point now. It's like Doctor Who. They've cast a female doctor. The showrunner, Chris Chibnall, said he was always going to be a woman, which I think is a disgraceful thing to say. Why didn't they just have an open audition call, right, for men and women to audition, and whoever did the best, whoever they liked the best, gets the role? But they don't do that. They're now being sexist towards men. It's insane. I remember watching an episode of DC's Legends of Tomorrow when they were slaughtering men for the whole episode. And it's that episode when that woman, I forgot her name, but basically they take her to Wonder Woman's Fantasy Island. And the character who takes her goes, it's okay. There's no men there. Outrageous. We are not the enemy. But of course, we are now. We are now to Hollywood. And it's insane. But the thing is, they need us. They need us to watch their stuff. So I don't really understand what's going on. Why they're alienating us. Why they're triggering us. It's weird. Let's come together and watch good TV and good film. Together. Write good stories. By all means, be diverse. But John Kasdan writing an Indiana Jones movie is disastrous. Disastrous. I saw what he was saying on Twitter when people were talking about the Pando, which is the nickname for Lando Calrissian, because they made him pansexual. No hints of this, of course, in Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back, but all of a sudden, he's pansexual. Listen, they could have created an original character and made them pansexual, but they didn't want to do that. They wanted to use a top-tier character. It's like Doctor Who. They introduced a character called Captain Jack. He wasn't part of the past or the franchise before. They made him pansexual. Everybody loved him. He kisses the Doctor on the lips. Everybody loves that moment, and a very emotional moment. Because it worked. He's a really good actor. He's full of zest and personality. John Barrowman owned that character in a way. The way he did it was amazing, and we all fell in love with him. It's not about being haters or being homophobic or racist or sexist. It's about taking characters that we've been watching for many years and saying, actually, we're just going to mug you off now. We're going to decide there's something totally different. This is why people get triggered. This is why people get angry. And this is why none of us in the know want John Kasdan to actually write the new Indiana Jones movie. But he is going to write it. We're powerless, but we're not powerless. Because we don't have to watch the film, do we? And it'll flop. Let them keep on doing it. And then, well, look at what Disney did with Incredibles 2, right? 14 years of looking forward to that. What happens? They literally make Mr. Incredible a house husband. Why couldn't Mr. and Mrs. Incredible and the kids from the beginning be fighting villains together as a family? Forget the family stuff. Forget the domestic stuff. Just have them being together. Oh no, we had to see Mrs. Incredible being the leader and Mrs. Incredible going out on her own. Well, Mr. Incredible did nothing but fail at being a dad. Now, this is interesting, isn't it? Because they talk about diversity and swapping roles, but why would Mr. Incredible be bad? Because he's a man, because men can't bring up their kids, because men can't be domestic. I just cleaned up my entire mansion on my own, then did 40 lengths in my pool. I'm pretty capable, right? Some of us are. It's not about men or women. It's individually what your makeup is. And this is what Hollywood don't understand. They live in this bubble. People like John Kasdan, who's going to destroy Indiana Jones, one of the most iconic characters. Now, you may have not liked Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls, but they didn't ruin Indiana Jones' character. He was still Indy, just an older version. But this bloke will destroy our hero. I'm not going to let him do that because I'm going to make sure his film is a flop, just like he deserves. Because, do you know what? I've got all my Blu-rays, I've got all my DVDs of the original Star Wars, of Superman, of Kevin Costner films, everything I want. I don't have to buy into modern TV and modern film. If they're not going to give me what I need from them, I'm not going to watch it. And here's the thing, just because we're older doesn't mean we don't matter. Our money is the same colour as everybody else's. Now, they may think they can get the Twilight Brigade involved, but in the end, they're fickle. They have killed, apologies, got the word wrong. They have killed Star Wars. And it all started with The Last Jedi. You've got Rian Johnson heckling fans on there constantly. Personally, I wouldn't even bother going on his Twitter and saying anything to him. He isn't worth my time. I watched his film, and all I felt afterwards was, I just can't be bothered anymore. I'm not interested in your Star Wars anymore. I'm not interested in this trilogy. I'm not going to watch it. I've got the original trilogy. I'm someone who likes the prequels, so I can watch. I can binge all those 6 movies and enjoy them. George Lucas's saga was completed. Now it's a shame he didn't get to do 7, 8, and 9, especially while Carrie Fisher was still alive. A great shame. But fans didn't treat him very well, some fans, and he walked away from the whole franchise. And at the end of the day, I can't really blame him. But John Kasdan writing Indy is an absolute disaster. And I just wonder, when you've just come off of a flop and you make a decision like that, it goes to tell me one thing, that you are at leave of your senses, that you do not understand the audience, the public, the finances. Don't you want to be successful? You think it's about principles. Well, Hollywood isn't about principles. Hollywood isn't about politics. It's about making stuff that people want to watch. And you, Hollywood, are not doing that. Thank you very much.